not happen again.
We begin tonight with a big change in San Diego trolley fare enforcement and how it will apply to all passengers countywide. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Carrie Lane in tonight for Marcella Lee. The old policy allowed passengers to pay on the spot if they were caught without a ticket. But as CBS 8's David Godfredson reports, MTS officers will now be issuing citations to people who don't pay.
For the past 4 years, if a passenger got caught riding the San Diego trolley without a ticket, they were allowed to buy a ticket on the spot for $2.50. No citation issued. That policy has led to a 32% fare evasion rate and the loss of $1 million per month in revenue. Yesterday, the MTS board voted unanimously to take a different course.
Right now, the behavior is an odds game, and they know it. They know I'm checked 8 to 10% of the time, and the penalty for those other 9 free trips is $2.50. It's a mathematical lose-lose proposition.
The purpose of the old policy was to keep low-income passengers from getting $200 citations and having to appear in court just because they couldn't afford to buy a trolley ticket. Now, under the new policy, all passengers found without a ticket will be issued a $25 citation, which can be worked off with community service or simply paid online or over the phone within 120 days.
If they do evade paying, those penalties are going to be significant, and they will be held accountable if they're caught.
Reaction to the new fare policy at the Fenton Parkway trolley station was mixed.
Sometimes the trolley comes and you can't get your ticket, and then we have so many homeless people around here. They just need to let them pay on the spot if they can. If not, it is what it is.
I think it's also a way to maintain safety for others, because a lot of homeless are on the trolley, and obviously if they don't have the money, they can't be on the trolley.
The MTS board also wants to know if closing off San Diego trolley stations and installing turnstiles so only paid customers can enter would reduce the ticket evasion rate. There will be a public education campaign for the next few months, and then the new fare enforcement policy goes into effect on February 1st. In Mission Valley, David Godfredson, CBS 8.
Passengers will also be able to appeal their citations, and the $25 fine will be waived if it's their first violation. Major changes are coming to the city of San Diego's ban on living in vehicles. It comes after a settlement in a class action lawsuit was finalized. Now, thousands of dollars worth of fines will now be waived. Police will also not enforce current rules prohibiting people from living in their vehicles on public streets when there are no other legal options available. The settlement also mandates that the city invest up to $900,000 into Mission Valley's safe parking site, the only one in the city open to RVs and campers.
Harborside Park in Chula Vista is set to reopen soon, but the city is still trying to figure out what kinds of activities to offer there. City leaders want input from the community on what recreation programming should be made available when the park reopens. It was closed more than 2 years ago because of concerns about a homeless encampment and crime in the area. Tomorrow's meeting is at 5 p.m. A man accused of illegal possession of a stash of weapons and explosives will stand trial.
A preliminary hearing was held for Neil Anders today. Detectives testified they found the stash after Anders' teenager son allegedly threatened to shoot up Rancho Bernardo High School back in January. Now, during the hearing, a weapons expert with the San Diego Police Department talked about the nearly 70 items that were seized from Anders' home, including a map of Rancho Bernardo High School.
Found 2 bottles of something labeled as gunpowder. We found safety fuse, which is used for explosives. We found what appeared to be an inert grenade.
The detective testified they also found a grenade launcher in the home, among many other weapons and ammunitions. Anders' attorney mentioned the family had recently moved to San Diego from Maryland to perhaps infer they weren't familiar with California law.
A man who police say threatened to shoot up Shoal Creek Elementary was back before a judge today, pleading not guilty. This after similar charges against him were dismissed just 2 weeks ago.
CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes was inside that courtroom for his second arraignment. She joins us now live with more. And Kirsten, this case was actually dismissed and then prosecutors refiled, correct?
That's right. Prosecutors say they have the right to refile charges for felony charges like the ones 39-year-old Lee Lohr is facing again for threatening to shoot up Shoal Creek Elementary School. So that's why the San Diego County DA's office resubmitted those charges, saying that Lohr is a threat to the public. His public defender disagrees. Take a look.
Visits found Mr. Lohr's risk for future violence was determined to be low or moderate.
That's Deputy Public Defender Lucas Hursty arguing why 39-year-old Lee Lohr should be released on bail in his arraignment.
Mr. Lohr is now a 39-year-old, 8-year combat Marine veteran. He has no criminal history aside from these allegations.
Prosecutors say Lohr was arrested in December of 2023 after he made felony threats in more than 300 emails.
This defendant responded to an email advertisement with the following threat: "I'm going to commit mass shootings at 11775 Shoal Creek Elementary School."
Prosecutors go on to say Lohr admitted what he did was wrong.
Further, when asked by officers on October 16th of 2024, if you were in my shoes and you knew all this, would you feel safe releasing you?
Judge John G. Pro ruled no bail in Lee's arraignment after hearing arguments from Lee's defense and the prosecution, saying,
I rely on the fact that this defendant made specific credible threats to an elementary school. There's a substantial likelihood that this defendant's release would result in great bodily harm to others.
After court, Lee's public defender declined to speak on camera, but as Lee was being taken back to jail after being a free man for almost 2 weeks, the deputy DA says,
Our office takes these threats seriously, and we want the individuals who attend those schools, the staff, the teachers, and the students, and the parents to feel safe.
Lee Lohr's original bail amount was set for $150,000. Prosecutors were asking for it to be raised to $500,000, but then the judge denied bail completely, saying that Lohr is a threat to the public. His next court date is set for January 13th. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Kirsten, thank you. Meantime, police are investigating a shootout between two people at a gas station in Linda Vista. It happened at a Chevron on Linda Vista Road and Ulrich Street. This happened around 5 this morning. Everyone involved took off before police arrived, but soon after, officers were called to a crash scene nearby and found a juvenile who had been shot, as well as a gun. Police say another man was shot in this incident and was taken to a hospital. Both were said to be in stable condition. No one else was hurt. Evacuation orders are in effect in Oakland after a fast-moving fire burned multiple homes.
This is happening in the Oakland Hills area near Interstate 580. According to the Oakland Fire Department, the wind-driven fire has scorched at least 2 structures. The westbound lanes of the 580 were shut down for a while because of the fire. They've since reopened, and fire officials say the fire's forward progress has been stopped. At last check, the fire burned about 14 acres. There are no reports of any injuries. We all know living in California is expensive, and now a new report is shedding light on just how many people are leaving and where they're going.
CBS 8's Shannon Handy has more on that and shares the reasons why some former San Diegans say that they've already left.
There's so much to love about California, especially living here in San Diego, but a new report shows more people are leaving than moving in. There are a lot of reasons for that, but people we spoke with say they left because of how much further their money goes elsewhere.
It wasn't the easiest decision, but it was something we were ready to kind of jump into, like a new adventure.
For Andrew and Lauren Rowley, that new adventure began 2 months ago when the couple, their young daughter and dog, moved from Chula Vista to a suburb located 30 minutes outside Denver, Colorado.
We both have great jobs right now, and we're like, let's buy a home. And San Diego is obviously where we wanted to stay, but the prices are just outrageous.
Andrew and Lauren say their budget in San Diego was around $700,000, which left them with few options they didn't like. They both work remotely, so they started thinking about places they've enjoyed visiting. They found a realtor who showed them homes via video and wound up buying one they had never seen in person for less than $600,000. It has 4 bedrooms and a big yard, everything they wanted, but didn't think they'd be able to have in California.
And all of our friends understood why we're doing it. We've had other friends leave the state. We've had other friends contemplating leaving the state and moving.
Financial tech company Smart Asset analyzed IRS data and found between 2021 and 2022, while California welcomed over 254,000 new residents, more than 399,000 moved to other states. The majority left for Texas, followed by Arizona, Nevada, Washington, and Florida.
I would have been the last one you'd think to leave.
Jessica Duarte was born and raised in San Diego. Last month, she moved to Alvaton, Kentucky, where she bought a brand new 3-bedroom home after selling her 1-bedroom condo in Rancho Bernardo.
I took all the profit from selling my condo and was able to buy this one right out, so I don't have a house payment.
Jessica discovered her new neighborhood after her parents moved there from Poway to retire in 2020. They also wanted to stretch their savings further. On top of the lower housing costs, Jessica says everything else is cheaper too.
Gas is like half the price, groceries are half the price. My utility bill, I ran the air conditioning for a whole month, 3 bedrooms. $75.
Still, there are downsides to moving out of San Diego, including leaving loved ones, the ocean, and weather behind. Both Jessica and the Rolleys say while they're enjoying where they're at right now, coming back is a possibility at some point.
I miss my California burritos and all that stuff, but I feel like I'm ready for some new experiences.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Thanks, Shannon. Celebrating diversity in science, that's still ahead.
Plus, white first responders and health officials in the South Bay are going pink tonight.
And later, with Election Day just around the corner, we break down the state ballot measure that looks to ban forced prison labor.
But first, let's take a look outside. A gorgeous day today, plenty of sunshine. Those clouds have made their way on out of here. We're going to see temperatures on the rise this weekend. I'll tell you just how warm we're expected to get and how long the heat wave will last. Stay with us. We'll be right back.